All right. Chapter 23. The woes upon the Pharisees. Then spake Jesus to the multitude. All right, so it's not a great multitude anymore, it's a multitude. So there's less people. And his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore, whosoever they bid you observe. They observe and do, but ye do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. Okay. Just talking to the scribes and the Pharisees that sit in Moses' seat. They say and they do not. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. For that make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments. And garments held the stature and standing of these people. That's why the woman reached out and just wanted to touch Jesus's garment, the hem of his robe, because that's where the power is. And love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues and greetings in the marketplaces, in the markets, and to be called of men Rabbi, Rabbi. So all they cared about was themselves. They didn't care about the word. They didn't care about anything. They only cared about their stature, their standing, and the praises of men. They didn't care about anything else. And if you look around at most, I don't even like mentioning TV evangelism because, whatever. But, if you're caring about you and what you're doing, then you're just trying to profit off of the word of God's truth that should be given to all. It's not, then it turns into a me situation. You're taking away from God and you're giving to self. And now it's a self religion and what you can gain, and it's not the way it should be going to God. And acknowledging the power of God, acknowledging the promises of God, and all that and everything. But anyways, going back to the simple version of it is they only cared about themselves. They didn't care about anybody else. But be ye called be not ye called rabbi, for one is your master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren. Man, I used to really hate that before I actually got baptized and fully started walking with God. I hated that. Master. When I heard that, oh, God is your master, I was so in opposition, in conflict. I didn't want to bend the knee to anybody, in the authority or anything. I was so in opposition of it. So just hearing master, and I think that's important to bring to the table to people that actually want they want the word. You have to interpret and put that on the playing field that Jesus is your master. You have to bend the knee to God. He's your master. He is the authority in your life. So if that's a good stepping stone right there. If you can get over that God is your master, then, work with some other ones. But bring that one to the table so that conflict can hit. So that stumbling block can get pushed off to the side and be like, all right, well, where's the next step? Where's the next step? Because that is our goal, to bring people to Christ. So present these things. That way those stumbling blocks can be removed. Conquer them. If you have a problem, pray for it. Pray that God can help you, because you can't do it in your power, but Jesus can do it through you in his power. Oh, I need to get a new Keurig. Anyways, and call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant, and whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. All right, let's look into abased. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I want to get a definition on that. And also, this right here, what God is trying to tell us is what is it what Satan did? He exalted himself. He wanted to, be the Most High. Now, what is it when you look around in the church? There's people that got their nose all up in the air because they know the word, and so now they're loving self. They want praise from others because, oh, well, don't you know who I am? And God is trying to warn us against this and pride. Okay, and so we are at 23:12. 23:12. Abased. All right. To depress, figuratively, to humiliate, in condition or heart, abase, bring low or humble. All right. So, and whosoever shall exalt himself shall be humbled and brought low. And he shall humble himself, and it even says it on there, himself shall be exalted. So whoever shall humble himself shall be exalted. All right. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men, for ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entered to go in. So they're hindering and stopping the works of God. They don't want people. They're the gate. They're trying to be the gatekeepers. Oh, well, if you want to get over here, you need to go through us. But they don't want anybody going through at all. They're stopping everything because they're taking away the authority and taking away from God to bring to themselves. That's their religion. Their religion is me. They're putting Jesus down and lifting themselves up. That's what they're doing. And you look at Catholicism and a lot of other Protestants out there that don't even understand what Protestantism is. That's what they do. They exalt self and they remove God completely, or they just lower it to a level where it's practically non-existent. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. All right. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. Therefore ye shall receive the greater damnation. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye compass sea and land to make one, I don't know how to say that word, one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Now, I remember somewhere that, and also, if you look at when your father or somebody says something to you 3 times, let alone 2 times, but if they're telling you something 3 times, it's pretty darn important. And God went into details with these people. 3 different examples. He just drilled them. He went into it. So now he's going into it even further a 4th time. Woe unto you, ye blind guides, which say, whosoever shall swear by the temple, is it it is nothing. But whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. Ye fools, ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifieth the gold? And whosoever shall swear by the altar, it is nothing. But whosoever sweareth by the gift that is upon it, he is guilty. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater the gift or the altar that sanctifieth the gift? Whoso therefore shall swear by the altar, sweareth by it, and by all things thereon. And whoso shall swear by the temple, sweareth by it, and by him that dwelleth therein. And he that shall swear by heaven, sweareth by the throne of God, and by him that sitteth thereon. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye payeth tithe of mint and anise, and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the others undone. Ye blind guides, he is really going at them. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but within they are full of exhortations and excess. Thou blind Pharisees, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. So you got to clean house before you can do anything. You can't just be a filthy person trying to, how you're not going to be doing anything. You might look good on the outside. Oh, wow, that guy looks really good. You present yourself really well. But the inside is garbage. And that's what he's telling them. Oh, wow, you guys look nice, but I see the heart, and the heart is filthy. So, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. So, when we take time and we listen to the word, God's word, just what happened right there, we interpret the word, and then God tells us, just in case we didn't already understand it, on this last one, on 27, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outwards, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. So he makes sure and confirms, yes, this is what I was saying. So it's important. God loves us. He wants us to understand his word. But we can't understand the word if first we don't pray for understanding. And secondly, if we're not reading and we're not thinking, using our mind, like he said on 22:37, Jesus said unto them, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all thy soul, and all thy mind. You got to use your mind. God gave you a creative mind to think. Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous. Did I just skip a page? I did. And say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore, ye be witnesses unto yourselves, that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Filled ye up then the measure of your fathers, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? Okay. Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stonest them which are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wing, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Chapter 24. Signs of the end of this age. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. All right, so this is very important. I actually watched a video about this a couple of days ago. I've watched this video a multitude of times. However, now I'm reading it, and it's in the study. So here we are, and Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the building of the temple. And a whole study can be based just on this one part alone. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be one stone left upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the signs of thy coming and the end of the world? So they're wondering, and their question is, when is the end of the world? And when will I know? And then Jesus responds by saying, Take heed that no man deceive you. So apparently in the end of days, there's going to be a lot of deceiving going on. And what is the enemy that we have? What is the number one opposition to God? That would be Satan. Satan hates everything that stands for, that God is and stands for. So he's going to deceive, he's going to twist, and he's going to pervert everything that God is trying to give to the people, which is truth. So God is saying, take heed that no man deceive you. So there's going to be a lot of deceiving going on. Okay. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Okay, so here's one example. And we have we have a couple of them actually out there that say they are the new Christ and all this other stuff. And there's a lot of them that go out there and they do this, and they're bad people. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. So even if we're not living in the last days, okay, be not troubled. God says right there. All right, so there's going to be wars and rumors of wars. Don't be troubled. Don't worry about it. Who's got your back? God's got your back. Have faith, not fear. For all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. So there will be wars and rumors of wars. Don't fear. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. If you look at a lot of what's going on the internet and you research current events and all that other stuff, the earthquakes are rising. There's catastrophe, hurricane after hurricane, and you know the percentages of how it just seems that everything is getting closer and closer and closer together. So even if you want to say we're not living in the end of days or the end times, you'd have to at least acknowledge from another level that this period is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Earthquakes are coming in a bigger span. Fires are breaking off everywhere, and weird little things are happening. But all around the world, turmoil is amuck. Okay? All these things are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So who is God talking about? He's talking about people that actually follow Christ and follow the Bible and actually believe it. So then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. Now what is that? I'm pretty sure I know what afflicted means, but let's pull up a description on 24:9. 24:9. Afflicted. A primary preposition to or into, indicating the point of reached or entered a place of time. Purpose, also adverbial phrases, against, among, as, at, toward, before, by, concerning, continual, far more, exceeding, for intent, purpose, forth, among, too much, that, to the intent, that, of one mind, never perish, set at one again, so that therefore unto, throughout, till, be, the end, intend, until to, forthwith, often used in composition with the same general import, but only with verbs expressing motion, literally or figuratively. All right, and shall kill you. So Jesus said that, they're going to kill you. If you follow me, you will be hated among all nations, not just some, all will hate you for following Christ, following biblical truth. For my name's sake. Wow. You want some of that? All right. So people are going to hate you. They're going to afflict you. They're going to kill you for Jesus' sake. And then shall many be offended. Man, we live in a generation that people are so easily offended and cry. Just babies. Whole bunch of babies. So easily offended. You gotta apologize. What is it? I was reading something. Shania Twain apologized for just acknowledging that if she was an American, she would have voted for Trump. She gave like a 4-page tweet apologizing to people for offending them because of just saying that, she agreed with Trump, or whatever. I forget the specifics of what she agreed with, but I think it was a pretty broad thing. But, she had to apologize for offending people because she said, she liked his policies. That's how pathetic, we're with the age that we're living in. And shall betray, all right, so, and they shall be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. All right, we got false prophets everywhere. And here we are with deceit. And because iniquity shall abound, iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall grow cold, shall wax cold. But he that shall endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. So we got to endure to the end. And we don't get to pick the end. God does. So we got to endure. Persevere. When the going gets tough, get closer to Jesus. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come. Yeah. But ye therefore shall see the abominations of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet. Okay, that sitteth in the throne, saying that he is God in the temple of God, that he is God and all that stuff. And we all know, or at least if you don't, then you should study that is speaking of the Roman Catholic Church and the papacy. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. All right. For then shall be great tribulations, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So this end times will be so bad that the world has never seen such bad times. These are going to be the worst, and the world has never seen it, and will never see it ever again. This is it. All right. For those shall be tribulations such as not in the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. So it's going to get so bad that the days, it's going to be short, because us humans would not be able to persevere through it. So God loves us, so he actually is going to make it shorter. So even the elect, can be saved. That's pretty crazy. You got to think about that. Then if any man, there's only so much that we can go through. We're human. We're whatever. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders. So God's saying, yeah, they're going to show signs, they're going to show wonders, but don't believe it, because it's not me. Don't be deceived. And if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So even people that know the Bible, study the Bible, they're even going to be like, whoa, maybe that is the Christ. And they, so it's going to be very deceptive here. That it's going to be able to even deceive people that know the Bible. That's pretty intense. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in his secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh down of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. All right, so here we go. So Jesus went into all the things that the enemy is going to do to deceive people on the coming of the Christ, the false Christ. So here's the false Christ plan. And then, of course, God, loving us, tells us, well, this is not how it is, and this is how it is. So what does Jesus say to look for the sign of where he is actually coming? For the lightning, so there's going to be lightning, cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west. So shall also the coming of Son of Man. So this is going to be a big event. If you see lightning, it lights up the entire sky. I don't care where you're looking, from the east to the west, lightning, you're going to see it. It's going to blast all throughout. And this blast is going to cover the world. So everybody is going to know. Everyone's going to see it. This is going to be a physical event that you're going to be able to look in the sky and see from east to west, lightning. Okay? For whosoever excuse me, for whosoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened. So now we got the sun being darkened. So what is an eclipse? And the moon shall not give her light. So it's going to be a full. I'm not really one of those moon astrologers or whatever, so I don't really know if it's a full or a partial or whatever the actual terminology for it is. But you're not even going to see the moon. It's just going to be completely covered. It's going to be black. So there's going to be lightning that's going to light the skies. Then it's going to go darkness. And the stars shall fall from the heavens, and the power of heavens shall be shaken. So you're going to have lightning and thunder from east to west. And then there's going to be a full eclipse. The moon isn't going to show her light. It's going to be completely dark. And then you're going to have meteors and stuff like that falling from the sky. Or, so, yeah. It's nothing. I don't think the Christ is here. What do you think? Yeah. Okay. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So after all that happened, then God starts coming down from the heavens. And the tribes mourn. They're like, oh, we were wrong. There is a Jesus. All those atheists out there, all those science people that don't believe in God and don't want to believe in the Bible, even though there's an elaborate plan written out for all of us and plenty of proof. If you just want to dig into it, there's proof here. They're going to know. They're going to know right there they were wrong, and they're going to be mourning. Oh, no. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. So then there's going to be a trumpet that is going to blast and sound all the way through the whole entire earth. The whole entire earth is going to hear this trumpet sound. Okay? All right. So he's the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, which is the whole entire world, everywhere, from one end of the heaven to the other. Now, so that right there. So God went through and said, all right, there's the deceiving plan. Here's my plan. You will know. Do not be deceived. Know your Bible and study it. So when people say he's coming in the desert and go there, no, that's not Jesus. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father alone. So nobody knows but God that day. Nobody, not even the angels in heaven. Nobody. So when you hear somebody saying, oh, God told me that on April 25th of 2021, I had a vision, baloney. You're full of it. You don't know nothing. Nobody does. Only God does. So shut your mouth. You don't know. You might think, but you don't. All right, so likewise, ye will see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, it will not pass heaven and earth, but of that man an hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father alone. Okay? But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field, and one shall be taken, and the other one left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, and one shall be taken, and the other be left. Faithful and unfaithful servants, watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink and be drunken, eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day that he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. Therefore shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. I don't think I need to go into description on that one. Don't stop studying. Don't stop being in your relationship because, if you plan for a day, it's going to be on the 20, next month, I can slack off, No, you don't know the day. You don't know the hour. Persevere. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. That's what God's saying. Don't slack off. You don't know what time he's coming back. So you just need to keep going. And it doesn't really matter anyways. If you really love the Lord, do you even really need that information? No, you don't. If you knew when you were going to die, would that help you? Or would that be a curse? I wouldn't want to know when I was going to die. I really wouldn't. You know, oh, well, you have a year to live. What happens when people find out that, you know, when they go to the doctor and they say, oh, well, you got cancer, you got 2 months to live. What do they do? Yeah. What do they do? Most of the times they go out and they start destroying their body, doing drugs, doing the stuff, the bad stuff that they never were planning on doing ever in their life because they thought they had more time, you know, whatever. The humanly heart, you know. I've actually worked with a gentleman that actually did that. He wasn't a Christian at all, but you know, he found out he had cancer and he started doing a whole bunch of drugs and going out and fornicating with a whole bunch of women, and you know, left his wife on the side and just started going and having mad crazy sex, you know. So yeah. Anyways, we'll continue on 25 on the next video.